Hello everyone, it's Luck here, and today we're playing some Blue-Red Wizards, which had 2 top 16 finishes at SCG Indy last weekend. It's the flavor of the month, and it's a super exciting deck to play. One of the 2 decks I'm considering playing in the upcoming PPTQ season. So basically, to do a very quick deck tech, we're a blue-red tempo deck landing threats like Delver of Secrets, like Nimble Obstructionist, like Vendilion Click, and then protecting them with some counter magic, and also out-tempoing our opponent and controlling their board with a bunch of burn and a little bit of red removal. We also have some manlands, a Wandering Fumarole, Mutavault, and a pretty simple 2-color mana base, and then a sideboard which gives us a bunch of counter spells to give us the ability to play out more as a blue-red control deck, as well as some hate cards like Alpine Moon for the Valakut and Tron decks, the extra removal that we might need against creature-heavy decks and graveyard-heavy decks in the case of the Magma Spray, and of course Statocasters to deal with a bunch of 1/1 tokens, which are very good against 3/1 flyers, 2/1 snapcasters, and the like. And that's the deck. It's super interactive, and I hope you will join me and enjoy a bunch of matches with it. We are on the play to get things going with a very reasonable hand. Light on the non-creature spell side of things, but plenty of threats, which is the most important element of any opening hand with this deck, I find. So we are, of course, going to kick things off with a Delver of Secrets and see if we can get to the job done. We're just playing a tapped breeding pool. Could really be anything at this point. Let's see if we can flip our Delver. Not this turn, not this turn. We're going to play out our Mountain and Grim Lavamancer. Not the Mutavault, because I think we're probably spending all of our mana next turn, no matter what. Misty from the opponent passing back to us. Another Delver on top, so no flip, which is a little sad for us. And rather than play it, I think we're just going to bash with our 2 creatures here, because I'd rather get the guaranteed 3 power of an Obstructionist, especially because the opponent could be playing a somewhat control-y deck with no early plays and a bunch of blue mana. So I'd rather play my stuff on their turn if I can. It's going to be a Harness Lightning of all things than our Delver, which is going to resolve. Not the removal spell I was expecting to see. Alrighty, the opponent's just got a tap land passing back to us. We are going to go, of course, for the end step Obstructionist. It resolves, and we draw a Click, which we can't actually cast, unfortunately. Alright, we get to get in for 4 here, back to our opponent, an Ether Hub. And it's an Aetherworks Marvel. Of course it is. Gonna resolve. So I'm so far ahead right now that I think I'm actually just gonna Burst Lightning my opponent's face rather than play out an Obstructionist, because the Obstructionist can counter a Marvel activation. So if I stay on top of that, I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, although a Braid just kills it, so you know what? How about we just do that? And the opponent scoops it up to the Abrade. Awesome. Alrighty, so I've never played against energy in Modern before, so I'm just going to bring in my negates and take out a couple Burst Lightnings, my weakest burn spell, and 1 Opt, just to trim, and see if we can just run back the same plan of killing our opponent with some good tempo. Oh man, we've got such a tempting 7 for game number 2 here, but I think I've got a mulligan at just too much risk of us not doing anything. And we've got a pretty reasonable 6 to keep. Our opponent is going all the way down to 5, which does mean that our mulligan should be a-okay. I'm gonna keep the Opt on top here, that I will have the option of opting if I do not get to Spell Snare anything. Alrighty, opponent's trying to get some energy, which I suppose I will Spell Snare. Get out of here, Puzzle Nut. Alright, I'm gonna opt in my main phase, having drawn a Steam Vents. Bottom of second Steam Vents, hit an island. Unexciting, unexciting stuff. Just run out this tapped Steam Vents. And opponent's gonna Rogue Refiner, which seems like a pretty good card. Even in what? We draw a Delver. I don't think I want to play that. I'm pretty sure Obstructionist is the card I want to play here. Ancient Stirrings from the opponent finds them an Emrakul Aeon's Torn, which makes me kind of scared of Through the Breach if they're putting that in their hand. Alright, we're just going to run out our Obstructionist to start pressuring them. Hopefully it survives. Yeah, it doesn't. Although our second one might. We do also have a Delver now to add to the fray. We are going to take 3 here. Worth noting, our opponent's taken 6 just from their lands, and we've taken nothing from our lands, so we're still a-okay on life. Let's pray this works out. Alrighty, Remand off the top is perfect. The perfect answer to a Through the Breach or Marvel. We are going to get to Kraken for 8 as well here. We have Wizard's Lightning up, which can deal 3 more. We have Remand up, and this should be a quick 2-0. Yeah, and the opponent does know about the remand, but they figure they've got nothing else going on. So this is gonna seal it. Up to a quick 2-0 start for Blue-Red Wizards. Let's jump into round number 2. Welcome back for some more Blue-Red Wizards. We've got a keeper on the play for game number 1 here, and it's going to be a turn 1 Delver of Secrets. Alrighty, opponent's cracking an Arid Mesa. Looks like they're on burn. They are going to bolt our Delver. They do respect it. We draw a Spy Bluff. I just want to get my Fumarole out. Hold up Spell Snare in case of an Eidolon. Alright, the opponent's cracking a Marsh Flats, and oh, it turns out they're not burn, actually. They're actually playing Maru, and I will gladly Spell Snare that Pyromancer. We draw a land to play out our Spire Bluff, and it's a Lingering Souls out of the opponent, which is actually a complete disaster for us. Because pre-board, this card hoses basically our entire deck. I'm gonna opt in response, try to find a remand or something, but having missed it, oh, we're in trouble. So Mutabolt's the draw. All we can really do here, I think, is hope to flip our Delver and race the spirit tokens, because we are not going to be able to beat them in a fair and square sort of way, and this is rough. Opponent's got a Inquisition. I think I have to let go. I could Snapcaster in response, but I don't think that's better than just having Obstructionist left over. Yeah, opponent does take the Obstructionist. Alright, and they're just passing the turn, which means I'm gonna go ahead and go Snapcaster Opt. Alrighty, so Opt Mutavault. That's interesting, but I really want some spells. I think Wizard's Lightning is much better. So yeah, I think the opponent took the bird because they didn't want us to stifle their Bloodstained Maya. Bit surprised they didn't cast Souls, but they might just have something like a Devastating Colligan's Command here. Yeah. Discarding our mountains, not the end of the world, but they get back their Pyromancer. So we need a flip here, and we need it badly. And Snapcaster Mage is not a flip, but I suppose it's one of the better spells we could get if we're not flipping. Geez, it's really tough for us to actually do anything though now. I'd love to pressure my opponent, but I don't want to get in with my X1s if I can help it. It doesn't really achieve anything, and I really want to leave up this Snapcaster. Probably going to be a Snapcaster and Spell Snaring this guy, yeah. Alrighty, so the Spell Snare happens without any dramas. Lingering Souls number 2 though comes down, and oh, this is going to be rough. First Lightning though means we do get to flip our Delver, which is something. And now I get to attack with my Mutavault and my 3/2 Flyer. You have 2 burn spells to potentially mess up our opponent's blocks, which would be really nice if they went for the double blocks here. Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and use both my burn spells to keep both of my threats in play, which does leave me very naked. But, you know, if we're gonna win, I think it's gonna be them not having more souls. Gotta take whatever chance I've got. Oh boy, it's okay, command. So we're gonna lose our 3/2. Opponent's gonna get back their Pyromancer. It does go back to us though, and remand, while not exciting, isn't awful, but 6 damage is something. Alright, so definitely gonna remand the Pyromancer. If they want to spend their entire turn recasting Pyromancer, that is pretty good for us. Damn, all we really want to hit is more burn at this point. Just burn. Not island. And it's a Dreadbore and a Snapcaster. Okay. Oh, and that's a Lightning Bolt. That means we can do 7 damage here if we bolt the opponent. But if we Fumarole, we get to keep Bolt and get in for 6. Which means that if we get to keep this Bolt in our hand, if they don't make us discard it, it'll be lethal. Alright, there's a Pyromancer. Faithless Looting. Please no discard. Please no discard. Alright, they discard Liliana the Last Hope, which is amazing against us. But they pass back to us. Oh, and I drew a Wizard's Lightning too? This has got to be game, right? Alright. So we snuck that one out. Ended up being a pretty solid tempo win. Whew. Getting through those commands though, and those souls, is no small feat. Alrighty, so for sideboarding, I kinda like most of what we've got going on for our tempo plan. We of course desperately need our Staticasters and our Entrancing Melody. Would be nice if we got to steal a Pyromancer. So I'm gonna bring in those guys, bring out a couple of Abrades and an Opt, and try it like that. Oh man, we're in the draw, and this is the 7 we get presented with 1 land, but it's just so good. I'm gonna risk it. I feel like on the draw we're gonna need a bit of help anyway, so, you know, perfect hand and even control lands I think is a-okay. This Inquisition will probably slow us down a bit though. Yeah, they do take the Delver, and we draw a Pyromancer, which I think I'd rather play than leave up a Spell Snare. Another Inquisition from the opponent. Takes our Snapcaster. Makes sense. That's the grindy card. Nice. We hit a land. We hit a land. That's good. Question is, do I want to leave up an activation of the Lavamancer or just get in with it? And I think at this point I'm getting in with it. Alrighty, and the opponent is gonna start casting away their Lingering Soul. Not ideal. I'm gonna go ahead and end step Wizard's Lightning them, then get a tapped land off of my fetch. And we draw Wizard's Lightning, so we could do a pretty good job of being a burn deck here. We do have 6 points of burn in hand. Lavamancer, I'm going to start activating probably at their face at this point as well. Our opponent's going to start racing us with their spirits. Flashes back souls. Alrighty, and end step, we're just going to go ahead, hit them in the face, and lightning them in the face. We'll just try to be a burn deck here. Hopefully Lavamancer doesn't die. I think Lavamancer's about to die in response. It's gonna make this plan a lot harder. Oh no, we get to untap. They're just getting a tap land. That's good. And we're drawing more burn, which is also good. I'm gonna keep prioritizing the Lavamancer above casting the burn spells though, because in theory, we have enough to get there right now. If Lavamancer keeps living. Alright, we're down to 11. Oh, and the opponent's passing to us. If they're out of gas, this could be huge. I'm gonna put them down to 7, down to 4, untap. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We are the best burn deck ever. That was sick. Woo! And that means we are 2-0-4-0. Heading into round number 3. I'll see you there. Alrighty, we are back for round number 3. We are yet again on the play with a pretty strong 7 again to open things up with. We have a turn 1 Delver. Opponent's playing a basic Plains. We'll see if they path on our upkeep. We draw a Snapcaster, which we will not reveal. And I am going to shock my Steam Vents here just in case I want to bolt and snare. Or more likely if I want to bolt instead of snare. Alrighty, opponent's playing a Martyr of Sands. Oh, we're going to have a very tough job tempoing them out of this one. There's 0 point in bolting their Martyr because they sack it in response. I'm going to bolt upstairs though. Give me the option of Snapcaster bolting next turn. Alright, we need this flip. Spire Bluff. That's not it. Alright, the opponent only reveals 3 cards here, so they probably have 3 lands in hand, that means. And they are getting 9, which, in all honesty, is probably better than the average situation. We do have to keep an eye out for Oars of Charm. Can return a 1-drop at instant speed. Not a card you see very often, but in the black-white Martyr Proc deck, which we're playing against, it is a pretty common card. Ooh, Squadron Hawk's interesting. It's also very good against me, which is, I think, very worthy of a Spell Snare. Basically, a less mana-efficient Lingering Souls. Delver on top. Ah, come on. I'm definitely shocking here. I want to leave up Snapcaster and something, as well as playing my Delver. So opponent's on 23 now. Where they probably Ranger of us, but they didn't. Oh, this is weird. Alright, so obviously we know about Oars of Charm, so they have that at instant speed, but what else could they? Not gonna snap bolt there, because I don't want them to just Oars of Charm back their Martyr. Alright, opponent's fetching for a swamp in my upkeep. Before my Delvers even trigger. And they're gonna go ahead and try to kill one of my Delvers. Think I have to snap snare this? It's not great. Really not great. The opponent could Ranger of Aos, and then, you know, us not being able to remand that even if we draw one is not good. Because the only really good answer we have to the Ranger is remand. Ah, it's a Mutavault off the top. Oh, these Delvers are never gonna flip. Alright, instead our opponent's gonna Ghost Core to their Flagstones, which does not put them down a land. But yeah, if we get to turn 5 and our turn 1 Delvers haven't been able to flip yet, it's always gonna be a rough one. Let's see what this Ranger of Aos gets. I imagine it's getting 2 Martyr of Sand. Yeah, we're gonna have a really tough time beating double Martyr. Alright, we have an Abrade on top, so we finally get to flip, but I have a feeling it's gonna be really way too late. I'm gonna activate my Mutavault and just crack in with everything here. I could Abrade this Ranger if I wanted to, and I'm actually going to because I don't see this Abrade getting any better. And snap bolting something isn't really better than just keeping one of our threats alive. Oh, well, we knew it was coming. Opponent's gonna gain 12. And they have 2 removal spells in hand, we now know. And I'm gonna gain 9 more. So this is the turn where they get to gain 20 life. I'm kinda surprised they're doing this now. They could have easily locked a creature and then sacked the Martyr to gain effectively even more life. And it's a Star Ascendant to follow up. So good news is we can snap bolt them to get them below 30. And what that'll do for us is that it'll mean that we can attack through their Ascendant because it'll become a 1/1 again. So we're not out of it because the opponent's got 2 removal spells and we've got quite a lot of threats. But we are pretty close to being out of it. Oh, that's not true. We'll just have to deal our opponent about, 60 or something damage this game if we want to win. Ghost Quarter takes care of one guy. Ascendant trade to the Snapcaster. Alright, there's the Anguished Unmaking we knew about, and the Path we knew about. So, opponent's got one unknown in hand. We're playing at the top of our deck. I imagine they are too. They're at 20 life. Let's see who can win this top deck war. Alright, they're just passing. That's good. That's good. Really, anything that's not Ranger of Eos is probably okay. So I'm definitely going to draw step this click that we just drew, which is a sweet draw, because if they're drawing a Ranger of Eos for turn, it would just win them the game. Alright, Wrath and Oars of Charm. Well, I think we have to take Wrath because it's a 2-for-1, and I imagine this Oars of Charm. Yeah, I assume Oars of Charm is just going to be used to kill our Vendilion click. Alright, yeah, so the click's going to die. We no longer know what the opponent's last card is. It's a Martyr. I'm going to bolt that because I'd rather not trade my Snapcaster. Drawing more bolts. Opponent's down to 13. They're out of cards in hand. We just have to fade for a few turns and we can kill them. Alright, they pass back to us. First Lightning's a pretty good draw. So we've got 7 points of burn in hand and our opponent's at 11. Oh, we're so very close. Oh no. Card they drew was Proclamation of Rebirth. Alright, I'm gonna end step kicker this Burst Lightning at their face, put them down to 7. What do we draw? The Wizard's Lightning. Okay, so we're 1 point shy of lead. We get in, they go to 8, so may as well kill this and put them to 5. Oh man. So we're now 1 burn spell away from it. They didn't proc their Proclamation. They didn't forecast it, rather. They are going to just hard cast it, returning 3 copies of Martyr of Sands to the battlefield. Yikes. Ah, and they've got 2 white cards in hand. Ah, man, including a Proclamation of Rebirth. Oh, that's brutal. That's just so brutal. Ah, we got close, but I think that's game. We draw Snapcaster, but yeah, I'm just gonna block and sack. And if they start forecasting this Proclamation of Rebirth, I'm gonna concede, because we can't counter that, we can't interact with it. Yeah, they're gonna be gaining minimum 6 life a turn, so damn, we were so close. Alright, for sideboarding, I'm gonna do the same sideboarding as I did in an earlier game, where I'm gonna bring in my Staticasters and Entrancing Melody, and bring out a Braids and an Opt, and see if we can temper them out this time. Flip our Delvers, in the first 5 turns. Alright, we've got a Keeper in our opener, so we're definitely fetching, shocking, and Delvering to kick things off. But I'm just gonna go straight to the business. No nonsense, just pathing us. They're just gonna ramp us into a faster click or Obstructionist, so I will now shock, drawing an untap land. Alright, and the opponent's passing back to us. Hopefully they're not holding up another path. That would be a bit of a beating. Yeah, it is a beating. Oh wow, the opponent's playing Extirpate against us. Well, Squadron Hawk, Ranger of Eos. Huh. I think I have to take the Hawk here because it's just good. It's really good against us. And I'm gonna opt here. Opt. I don't want that. And we hit a bolt. So I'm gonna play out my Fumarole, Sarah Senate from the opponent. We will end step this Obstructionist. Alright, we get to untap with it this time. That's something. Finally connecting 3 damage to the opponent. Play a Delver. Now let's Sarah Senate for the opponent. Alright, and the turn is ours again. I think I'm gonna bolt upstairs. I'm not gonna snap bolt just yet. Might want that for removal at some point. Ooh, they're gonna Extirpate Lightning Bolts. Yeah, sure, whatever. This does not seem like it's worth a card to me at all. Not even close. Not against this. Not against me. Alright, with nothing, with no bolts left in our bin, I'm happy to go ahead and Snapcaster Optia. Get rid of that land. Land, of course. But we get to reveal and flip. Yeah, that's something. We also get to get in with our Mutavault now. I will offer the Snapcaster as a trade, which they are going to take. But it's all the way down to 7. Yeah, they can't attack because they know that we have our Fumarole ready to go. We'll get another land of our deck, end step, and I will go ahead and get rid of their Ascendant. Here's where they're blockers, and they scoop it up. Nice. Okay, 1-1, 1-1. All right, and that was a pretty comprehensive tempo win over the black-white proc deck. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep it the same. Of course, everything we do is worse in the draw than the play, but see how we do. This is a very awkward 7. I'm gonna keep it. Could very well be wrong. And I'm gonna shock you. The opponent has a Martyr. I absolutely need to bolt this Sarah Ascendant. And in fact, I'm gonna bolt it anyway. Yeah, there's a Squadron Hawk for the opponent. That card is still good against us. We do have Staticasters to draw into, though, which would be super handy. And they're revealing 2 Hawks, so they obviously already had a Hawk in hand. Alright, and we draw an Opt. So I will, of course, leave up remand here. I'm not going to remand another Hawk. We are taking one from the Hawk. Alrighty, I'm going to go for the end step opt here. Bottom of land for sure. Burst Lightning, not a threat. Not a Staticaster. Okay. Alright, I'm going to plan on casting Snap Opt unless I need to remand here. I would really like to just dig for a Staticaster. Yeah, Ascendant's fine. Opt into Bolts. Yeah, I don't want Bolts. Okay, we find a Delver, which isn't the worst thing. I'm thinking about if I want to shock the Steam Vents. I think I do want to burst away this Ascendant so I can get in with my Snapcaster. That's fairly clear to me. But yeah, I can't let my opponent Ranger of Eos, and I need to deploy this Delver if I'm ever going to race. So I guess that just answers my own question. I need to go to 12 off the shock. Alright, it is going to die to Orzhov's Charm. I'm not going to remand that. Alright, so we're going into 10 here. There's another Hawk on Staticaster. I'm gonna bolt them in the face here. Yes, there we go. Whew. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, that is so good. Bye-bye Hawks. Bye-bye Hawks. Oh. And now that our opponent at 12, us having Burst Lightning, Snapcaster, Remand, it's a good hand. Just don't range me now. Okay, Wrath, I mean, you know, it's not good, but it's not a Ranger of Eos, so I'll take it. Okay, opponent's up to 6 mana, which is also just a scary moment in this game. 6 mana, of course, is the point where they can start forecasting their Proclamation of Rebirth. Opponent does go down to 9 here, though. Yeah, Orzhov Charm's going to take care of our Snapcaster. So opponent goes down to 8. We unfortunately can't pressure with the Fumarole because this Ghost Quarter. Island is not good. Island is not good. Alright, now the Ghost Quarter from the opponent. There's their last Squadron Hawk. We know it can't search anything up because everything else has already been deployed. The question is, do I want to cycle Remand to look for some action here? I mean, they've got so much mana. I feel like Remand's just very weak right now, so I think the answer is yes. Ooh, and that's a Burst Lightning. Okay, okay. Burst Lightning puts me 1 point away from lethal, so I will absolutely shoot them with it on end step. Now, Snapcaster or any burn spell is lethal. Okay. That's a Grim Lavamancer. That is lethal if we untap with it. And they've got nothing in hand right now. They need to top deck an answer to this or they're dead and we get to improve to 3-0. Ah, they found Wrath. They found Wrath. Okay, that's a clean answer. Do I shoot them to 1 here? I don't see why. Okay, that's a Scalding Time. May as well activate a Fumarole. Make them actually use one of their Ghost Quarters. Alright, we are going to be able to get the last fetchable land out of our deck with this Scalding. So it should be improved top decks from here. Any damage source. Anything. Ugh, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Alright, opponent's playing a land, passing back to us. I'm on Remand. Alright. Okay, opponent's going to try to cast a Proclamation of Rebirth. Definitely going to remand here. Still at the point where any point of damage does it. Snapcaster. Oh my lord, that's a Snapcaster. Rebirth in the stack. Alright, we're targeting Wizard's Lightning. Wizard's Lightning you. Burst Lightning you. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, baby! 3-0. 1 game less. Woo! Let's get ready for the 4th one. Oh yeah. Alrighty, we're on the play yet again for round number 4, and we've got a keeper again. So that's a pretty good strike rate with them opening hands. I'm gonna lead off on a tapped Steam Vents. Don't want to shock myself in case my life total is very precious. Dark Shore's sleight of hand from the opponent, so I'm thinking Adnors maybe. Okay, we pick up an Obstructionist. Yeah, Dreadship Reef is 100% an Ad Nauseam card. Well, time to start bolting the opponent. Nowhere else for these to go in this matchup. Alright, pick up Opt, which is not really a card with text on it. There's a Temple of Deceit. And the turn is going to be ours again. So we get to start up applying some pressure here. We really need to find our Remands in this matchup, because Remand is an excellent counterspell against Adnors, but not having counterspells can be a real problem. Yeah, with this Dreadship Reef, opponent's already got 5 mana in play. With Simian Spirit Guides, we could already be dead if they have it right now. Now, even so, I think I have to play as if they don't, because I need to get a good clock going. And okay, it looks like we're gonna die in response, but I mean, I don't feel like I can just opt and hope for the best there. I think I do have to apply some real pressure to them. Yeah, there's Spirit Guide Ad Nauseam. I'm gonna cast my Opt, not because it does anything, just because I want to see if there was a Remand waiting. And there wasn't, so, you know, that kind of thing happens against Adnors. It's a good combo deck. Alrighty, good news is sideboarding gives us 7 very relevant, very good counterspells in the matchup, which is a lot. And we get to cut a few burn spells, basically, because they're not super effective. They help us race, of course, they make us faster, so I want to keep in a bunch of the more efficient ones, and of course a Braid hits, especially Pentad Prism. So I think it's worth keeping in for that reason. I could be wrong on that. It's possible I just want more burn spells, but I'm gonna try it like this. Yikes. Got a mulligan this one. Oh, come on. Yeah, we're going to 5, and like, as far as 5s go, like, this is pretty good, right? I can lean on the island, not because I think I'm gonna be able to use it straight away, but because I don't want to shuffle anyway. Opponent's going to suspend 2 Lotus Blooms, so we have a pretty good idea of when they're likely to combo off. I'm going to deploy my Delver here. We do get a shuffle if our Delver reveals something that we don't want. There's a Pentad Prism though. I mean, Spell Snare's not getting any better. Yeah, I am going to fight over this because I'm thinking like there is actually a world in which I fight them over their Lotus Blooms too, because Nimble Obstructionist can counter one in a way that they can't interact with, so... And Remand off the top? Yeah, alright. Good card. Opponent doesn't know about it, no, they will not try to go off without a pact at this. Ooh, opponent's going to try to Phyrexian Unlife off of a Spirit Guide here. Yeah, I'm gonna Remand that. Find Snapcaster, okay. Delver. Alright, so opponent's gonna get a Lotus Bloom here. Question is, do we want to counter the second one? We do go shields down to do this, but we're basically shields down anyway right now. I'm gonna go for it. I mean, they've already used the Simian Spirit Guide, so it's... And they've been missing their land drops, so I feel like there's a fairly reasonable chance that they can't kill us this turn. Yeah, and we do get the turn back, which is nice. Now what? Obstruction. That's an interesting one. So we could go Delver, then plan on bolting them, or we could just hold up Obstructionist. I don't see us cycling again. We can't stifle a Lotus Bloom activation, unfortunately, because mana ability. So that's not something. So I suppose I just want to keep it as pressure. I really would have liked to hit a land there and just hold up Snap Remand, in all honesty. Yeah, so the opponent drew a Lotus Bloom for turn. They just suspended it. So we can be pretty sure they can't kill us yet. Ooh, that's big. That is big. We draw a Braid for turn. So bye-bye Lotus Bloom. I'm gonna cast Delver, Kraken for 6 here. And the really sweet thing now is our opponent could very well have Angel's Grace, or maybe they get to cast an Unlife here. Looks like it's gonna be an Unlife. They did spend a land to do that though, so that's a win for us. But if they're going to be eating through... Yeah, if they're going to be eating through their resources that they need to combo in order to stay alive, well, you know, they're not comboing. And with this Lightning Bolt in hand, we have lethal. We have lethal right away. Alright, Spy Buff Canal off the top, so... Top of our deck hasn't been kind. And yeah, opponent scoops it up, so... Alright, Multi 5, we get to pull out the win, take it to 1-1. Braid proved really nice there. Situational, but the upside is definitely there, so I'm going to hold on to it. Alright, I'm going to keep this 7. No threats, but we do have 3 counterspells. And 3 is a good number. I'm spending a Lotus Bloom, so of course we would gladly Obstructionist at some point. We are getting Thought Seized, so we'll see what they take. It's the Remand. We draw land, which is bad. Yeah, and we are going to Spell Snare our opponent's Pentad Prism right now. Or a Mountain. Yeah, I'm going to opt right now. Yeah, because we hit a Delver. Yep, that's why we opt right away. So it's something we want to play. Lotus Bloom is coming down next turn though, and our opponent knows about the Dispel. Unfortunately, we don't have anything other than the Dispel. So if we don't draw anything relevant, we could very easily die. So yikes, our opponent just went top, so they've definitely found something. Ooh, and they're going to Slaughter Pact our Delver. Yikes, okay. We draw Obstructionist though, which is a very, very good draw. So that means we're going to be able to counter this Lotus Bloom. So when the last time counter is removed, now we get to counter the Lotus Bloom. I was a bit worried the opponent was going to plan to win in their upkeep there after pacting, so very happy we're able to do that. And I want to leave up Click plus Dispel here, absolutely. That's a really nice draw. 100% gonna go for the draw step click here. Ooh, they're gonna Pact of Negation it. That's gonna happen, but there's no way they can win this turn now, which means they have to spend next turn paying for Pact. And of course, whenever they use a Pact, our Dispel becomes better. And then into 1 card in hand, so this is good, this is going well. Alright, we draw Opt. Out of here, Steam Vents. Utivolts. Draw. It's definitely Fumarole first. So yeah, opponents paid for Pact. More lands, that's good, that's good. Obstructionist is also good. In fact, it's so good that I'm not going to attack with Fumarole because I want to get this guy into play. Ooh, oh my, that is a Grave Titan as the opponent's last card in hand. Wowie. Oh no. Oh no. That'll hit for 10 next turn. We can't attack on the ground, only in the air. Yeah, we're not racing this, so I think I have to just hope to hit a Remand here. Snapcast is not a Remand. Oh no! Hey, I guess we can Bolt Snap Bolt it. That's, you know, all things considered, that's a pretty reasonable outcome for us. Alright, so we passed test number 1. Yeah, opponent's staying back in defense, which makes a lot of sense. Alrighty, I'm gonna fire out my Fumarole here, back with both my creatures, and I will trade off the Fumarole for a zombie here. Light a hand. So we do need more counter magic. Oh my lord, Keranos now? Jeez Louise. Alright, there's the counter magic we wanted. Now the question is, with a Keranos in play, I mean, they've known about this Dispel. I take 1 turn off my clock by going shields down. Yeah, I don't think I go shields down. Ugh. Alright, opponent finds Thoughtseize. That's resolving, because that'll deal 2 to them, and that actually takes a turn off the clock. Take the negate off me. We draw a Delver. Okay. Well, it's funeral time, so we get to get in for 4. Play out our Delver. Oh, we're so close. This is so close. Oh, Phyrexian Unlife. Ah! Oh boy. That's half their combo too. Disdainful Stroke. More counter magic, eh? It's funeral time again. Not gonna go for the Mutavault. Still not going for the Mutavault. Especially with half their combo in play. And they just drew an Ad Nauseam. Okay. So we're dead to Pactum Negate. God, this has been an intense game 3. Okay, opponent's going for it. Yeah, I'm gonna cast the Stroke, not the Dispel. Because if I draw a land, I can then attack with the Mutavault and the Fumarole. Not next time, but the turn after. They had it. They had it. Dang it. We were so close. And I think that's a really good matchup for us. That might be the most favored matchup that we've played so far today, and it is going to be our first loss. That's okay. Alright, heading into our final round again. We are on the play. This hand, though, oh, it does so little. I'm just going to mulligan it. And feel happy about that decision with a pretty reasonable 6. Don't want more Mutavaults though. Ooh, looks like we're playing against Hardened Scales Affinity this game. Let's flip. Alright, no reveal. So this Abrade is going to be a really, really sweet card here. Do I have proper trade? I don't think so. There's a Ravager. I am actually going to trade this time round though, because this means I can kill the Ravager and clean it up really neatly, get rid of all the counters at once. Island, we will not reveal. Yeah, and I'm just gonna go for the Abrade right away. Don't want to give them a chance to dump counters onto their Nexus if I don't have to. And because this version of Affinity cares so much about the +1/+1 counters, so much more so than normal even, I think that Ravager's just their best card, so always good to kill it. If only we had a Spell Snare. This is going to be a big Hangerback Walker. No luck flipping, no luck flipping. I'm going to shock and pass the turn. We've got Snapcaster, Abrade up. There's an Arcbound Worker. Alright, the opponent's setting the turn back to us. I'm just going to run out the Obstructionist here. They could put a couple of counters on their Hangerback in response. I don't know if I'd kill it even with that chance though, to be honest at this point. And Spell Snare, that's a hit. Not the most exciting draw, but it does flip my Delver. Alrighty. Opponent's going to go for a Inkmoth Nexus block, so I'm just going to Snapcaster and Abrade it. This Hangerback's going to get very quick, very, very big, very fast, but through a combination of chump blocks and hopefully some burn spells, we might be able to race it. Okay, opponent's going to Ancient Stone. Only fighting Moxo Pull, that's good. That's really good news for us. Oh boy, that Arcbound Ravager though is anything but. We might just be dead right now, actually. Holy moly. Yeah, by my count, the opponent attacks with the Arcbound Worker, we have to block it. They could dump as many as 20 +1/+1 counters on. Okay. Alright, that's a Burst Lightning. That's a good draw. Still attacking in the air. Oh, yes. I somehow forgot that the Thopters would work in combat, not just feed counters to the Ravager. So, this is going to be, this is not going to be pretty. Alright, we're now forced to, block both of the opponent's creatures here. I'm just gonna concede. We're so dead. Alrighty, so for sideboarding, I think I just want every removal spell I can get my hands on, and I don't really want reman, so this is how I'm gonna sideboard. 0 land, I have to mulligan, and I suppose we're keeping this 6. Snapcaster, I don't believe we would rebuy Wizard's Lightning. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom it. It's definitely close, but I don't think rebuying Wizard's Lightning is necessarily better than getting a Lava Man's activation anyways. Oh, okay. Oh, get it, gut shot. Alright, so the opponent's doing a very affinity sort of start. That's a static caster though, which could be really good. Alright, so we got to 18. That is an Arcbound Ravager. Interesting. Alright, and we draw Mutavault. So Ravager's going to be very scary. Ravager is going to be very scary indeed. It's going to make our static caster significantly worse. Alright, another Arcbound Worker's okay. And this Thronogeth is going to force our hand. It can proliferate, which means it'll put extra counters on every single one of these guys. So we are definitely going to be forced to sweep up these workers, which will have the side effect of making this Arcbound Ravager way too big for us to ever kill. Oh, also they can just fizzle the activation. Oh no, oh no, no. And there's a proliferation. Oh wow, this is so bad. So very bad. So yeah, while Affinity is a great matchup for us, I don't think it's a stretch to say that the Hardened Scales Affinity deck seems exceptionally strong against us. Yeah, I'm not even really sure what we can do at this point, to be honest. And a Hangerback Walker. Alrighty, so I'm pretty sure blocking like this, and I'm gonna just stifle the proliferation here, but We are super dead. Yeah, it looks like the opponent can indeed do maths. And yeah, that'll be the end of us. Whew. So finishing up with a 3-2 in the end after a super strong 3-0 start. Which is always disappointing, but man, oh man. I think that, 8 out of 10 times we're going to beat Adnors, but I have a feeling that we're going to lose against that Hardened Scales Affinity deck close to 10 out of 10 times. Not only do we have just the sheer power of the deck, but we also have, we also have Hangerback Walkers and I imagine Walking Blisters as well, coming in with at least 2 counters on them, so that's something that is going to be tough for us to beat no matter what. Alrighty, so that's been Blue Red Wizards. I hope you enjoyed the videos, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon. Thank you for watching.